Alright, this is a very brief video to show you how to complete the graphic organizer, which is about the impact of the Great Depression on the Americans. By completing this graphic organizer, you will be graded on the IB criterion of B investigation. This will be the first time you've been evaluated on this skill. So the task is as follows. This will be a classwork grade out of 30 points. I will do the first box with you right now, and you will be responsible for completing the second 3 boxes. The president is trying to figure out how to help Americans during the Great Depression, and he needs your help. Research the impact of the Great Depression on the everyday lives of ordinary Americans using this Google presentation. So click on the presentation to open it up, and it will come up next to it. Fill in the blanks for each reason on the graphic organizer and then record supporting details supporting each reason. He needs information to make his decision, so be detailed and specific. So get ready to help out the president. So you already have the facts. These are the 4 facts at the top. You need details to support each fact. You will get 1 detail from each primary source. So section 1, and they all have number 1s right here. Large numbers of banks and businesses failed. So the blanks are banks and businesses. So I'm going to go back to my graphic organizer and I'm going to fill in banks and businesses. So now I'm looking for 3 supporting details of large numbers of banks and businesses failed. So primary source 1. Look at the picture. See if you can pull anything out of the picture that supports the fact that large numbers of banks and businesses failed. Then read the caption. Okay, bank failures wiped out the savings of millions of people during the Depression. Depositors crowded around the American Union Bank in New York City after it failed in 1931. About 9,000 banks in the U.S. closed from January 1930 to March 1933. There is more than 1 correct answer on every slide, but not every answer is correct. I'm going to take this last sentence here for this first picture. About 9,000 banks in the U.S. closed from January 1930 to March 1933. In the case of this assignment, it is okay if you plagiarize. Since this is the first time we've done an investigation, I'm going to allow that. But as we move forward, you're going to have to rewrite things in your own words, and it will become more and more challenging. All right, source 2. Pause the video and take a minute to read the source. There are many correct answers here. I want to point out you may not use the same fact again as you used in the first one. Okay. So I'm going to choose this sentence. Bank failures made less money available for loans to industry, and that supports the fact that large numbers of banks and businesses failed because businesses were not able to get loans to start up or continue or improve because the banks failed. So I have 2 facts now from 2 primary sources. Next slide still has a number 1, so I can use it. Looking at the graph, the title is Business Failures, 1929 to 45. Across the bottom are years. Up the y-axis here are number of business failures. So the stock market crashes in 1929. So that's why the business failures start to increase. There's a sharp increase to 1931. So I'm going to give you 2 options here. You can put the largest number of business failures occurred in 1931 at 28,000, or you can put there's a sharp increase in business failures from 1929 to 1931. And that's how you complete this assignment. I'm going to get you started on box 2, and then you're going to finish the rest on your own. So going back to the presentation, you now see a number 2 here. So these are the sources you use to fill in box 2. It says 1/4 of workers were without jobs. I'm going to fill in the blanks. Or without jobs. That's called being unemployed if you don't work. So be sure to add this word here. It's a vocabulary word you need to know the answer to. And then you repeat the same thing we just did. Go on to the next slide. What about this man holding this sign supports the fact that 1/4 of workers are without jobs or unemployed? Be specific. Don't use proper nouns. Don't use pronouns. Use proper nouns. The man holding the sign, not he. Okay? And then you go on and you find one fact from this that supports that 1/4 of workers were without jobs. Okay? And you continue on down. Then you have a graph. And then you go on to number 3. And make sure you are always focusing back on the fact that you are supporting. So we moved on now. So switch gears to 1/4 of workers were without jobs or unemployed. And that's what you're trying to support now. Good luck, and I can answer any questions when I return.